Welcome to your daily focus, June the 4th, 2019. My name is Tilly. This is Tara with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy that you send my way each and every day. Now we have the sun in Gemini. We have the moon. I think the moon starts out in Gemini. We're coming off of that new moon energy that we just experienced on the 3rd. And you guys caught something that I didn't with the numerology of the 12 degrees on the 3rd. And then the numerology of the day was a 12, and then 2 plus 1 would be a 3. But then our Journey of Love card was also 666. So it was 6 plus 6 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So we had a lot of that energy, and I would expect that energy to be a lot stronger in our lives over the next couple of weeks, which is beautiful energy because it's also the energy of the year, right? If you add up 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9, you would get 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So very strong energy for, and I keep saying it, new moon affirmations over the next several weeks. Uh, say something positive, envision your future, envision where you want to be, see yourself there. Look at we have the moon going into Cancer today, so the emotion of it, tap into the emotion of how you feel when you hit that goal, when you manifest that dream, when you make that passion something very tangible in your life. So today would be a 4 energy. I think if we added up, it would be a 13 first, and then 1 plus 3 is a 4. And so it asks us where we kind of hold back maybe in our creativity of not really feeling feeling grounded, where we don't maybe express our inner selves on the outer world. So our environment doesn't match who we truly are. So where do we do that in our lives? That's something to think about today. Absolutely. You will probably get an aha moment, a realization, a clarity, and understanding of something that needs to change in your environment or within yourself. That could be as well. We start with the Strength card. Oh, it's all about our strength. This is really about leading with a passion, but a compassion. This is about standing in your truth, walking with integrity, being trustworthy. It's about not trying to manipulate our strong arm a situation or a person in order to get what we want. And when I say this to you, also know that you could be feeling this energy from another. It's about our inner strength. We sit there with the lion, and the lion is letting out this huge roar, which would probably make me, I love cats, but I'm telling you, if a lion roared and I had my back to it, I'd probably turn around to make sure that lion wasn't looking at me. And yet we have no fear here. There is a connection of soul. There is a trust. And it's the trust that we have given, because we're not holding a whip and a chair there in order to keep that lion at bay. We've treated it with respect, with kindness, with empathy, with love, and we expect the same in return. The Four of Pentacles, what are we holding on to? Oh my goodness, what are we holding on to? What do we need to let go? What is our blanket, our Linus blanket, or our binky, or soother, some people call it. We probably have 1,001 names for it. That we feel that we need that attachment to in our life that actually holds us back. Okay, here we are, and we're cuddling this one pentacle like extremely hard, like nobody's taking this away from us. And we've got a foot on each of the pentacles on the ground. We are going to make sure they stay in our lives. We are going to hold on to it at all costs. And because we're sitting there and so tightly bound to these pentacles, we don't realize that if we just stood up and we stretched and we turned around, that there is this giant pentacle waiting for us to enter into this gate of abundance, maybe of love. It's protected by two angels. It's within two pillars, giving us that balance or that 11 energy. So where do we hold on to tightly? And this was a lot of the new moon energy with the 12, right? It was about where do we need to surrender or sacrifice in our life? Where do we need to let go of the control of? And when I say the word control, I always get that, people are thinking of control in a negative way. Now, we take control of many things in our lives that we don't need to. And so an example that I use more often than not is I would like to give up control on taking the garbage out to the curb. I'm more than happy of giving up that control, of sacrificing that in my life and giving it to somebody else. Maybe we're trying to control a situation or an environment or a person, and we simply really don't have the true control in order to change something for the better. And if that's the case, then we need to understand what we do have control of and what we don't have control of. And step away from the things that we do not have control of. Maybe it's giving up control in a relationship, in an association, in an environment. Maybe it's something that has gotten us to here. And so it's become part of our life. So it could be a behavior or a habit. And it's become so much a part of us that we don't even realize it. It's like brushing your teeth or turning off the alarm in the morning or taking a shower. You kind of do those things without even thinking about your emotions, because it's just a part of your behavior. It's part of your routine. And by doing it, you've kept yourself healthy and safe. So we're going to continue to do it that way. And we don't analyze it anymore. I mean, try brushing your teeth. Try holding the toothbrush with the opposite hand. Go ahead. Try and do that. And see how much you have to think about it and what goes into it. And now look at other parts of your life, your routine. And yes, the mundane routine. Maybe it's time to rearrange the furniture or paint the walls a new color. Maybe it's time to bring in some fresh flowers and put them in a vase to brighten up a room. Maybe it's time to get rid of some of the clutter that we've held on to, because when you hold on to a bunch of stuff, because maybe you'll need it one day, and chances are you put it away and you've tucked it away, and when you do need it, you can't remember where you put it anyways. But it really, it's scientifically proven that it is poverty thought driven. So the more that we hang on to things, we're telling ourselves, because I might not be able to afford it going forward, because I might not have the money, because I might be in dire straits and I can't afford it. And you're really setting yourself up for a lack of money going forward, because you're telling yourself that by keeping everything. Give it away. Chances are when you need it, somebody's going to give it to you. I remember years and years and years ago, and we went to this one park, Algonquin Park it's called, and really Algonquin Park is just lakes and islands and streams and islands and lakes and islands and creeks and islands and rapids and islands, and we went portaging, and that's a whole other story. But the first morning that we were going to leave the campsite and portage to the next campsite on another island, my husband started loading up the firewood, and I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Well, we're going to need firewood when we get to the next campsite." I said, "No, we're supposed to leave the firewood, and when we get to the next campsite, someone will have left wood for us. We don't have to worry about carting the wood. We have enough to do just portaging, because portaging, you're carrying your canoe and all your supplies for however we went for, I think it was a week. So all your food and your pots and pans and everything you're carrying. You don't want to be carrying wood too, for goodness sakes." I said, "No," I said, "leave it. We don't need the wood. The wood will be there." And sure enough, Every campsite we went to, and he was just amazed that this wood was waiting for us each and every time. And so he actually went out of his way to try and find some wood to make sure that the people who came next would have the wood and pay it forward. So don't worry about the lack of. You're just inviting that kind of energy in when you worry about the lack of, and try and change it to a positive. And if you are really caught up in your finances and they just seem to be weighing you down, think about the monkey water skiing. Okay, imagine a monkey water skiing with a pink bandana on, eating a banana. Now, what that does is for a split second, your brain cannot stay in depression and imagine this monkey water skiing with this pink bandana eating a banana. And you have to kind of giggle at the image that shows up in your mind. And in that split second, you've just changed your energy. Now think of the positive. Now throw in the positive. Now do something, an action perhaps. Dance, sing, laugh, giggle. Let's see what our third card is. I'm rambling. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups talks about a future that is waiting for you. It's calling you out. You hear something in the distance. It's calling you. But we have those cups there, and those cups represent the things we love in our life. So the things that we might have to let go of are actually things that we have become very comfortable with in our life. And so it's kind of hard in some ways to turn our back on those things and go forward. Now, I always get with this deck, because she's holding that violin, that it has something to do with our creativity, our imaginations, our intuitive inventiveness, expanding our self-expression in some way. And the actual things that we love and makes us feel grounded are maybe some of the things that are holding us back from going forward. We don't want to disappoint somebody, or we don't want them to think less of us, or what will they think of me if I go off and start this journey? What if I say this out loud? What if I join that group? What if I go to that meeting? What will they think? What if I take this job? Let's see what our Nature's Whispers has to say. So it's very much about knowing your own truth, standing in your own integrity, treating people with compassion and empathy, not trying to bully or strong arm. I get strong arm somebody into doing something for us, or acting a certain way, or being a certain way. And it's about letting go of something. It's very much about understanding. And so we will get the clarity today if we do concentrate on it, because the cards are asking us to look at that part of our life, of what makes us feel secure, what makes us feel grounded. Shift your energy. 19. Shift your energy. Let's see what the book says here. Clear your energy, the energy of those around you, and the energy of your environment. Winds of change are blowing into your awareness. In order to prepare for what is ahead, begin the process of renewal. This process might include clearing away the old that no longer has a purpose in your life. It might mean changing old habits, patterns that you are ready to release. An example might be actively avoiding overly sugary foods if you're trying to eliminate excessive sugar from your diet. View this as a time of shedding that can be achieved with ease and grace. And I really do believe that the universe, God, our angels, they're all there giving us the strength, the courage to step into new behaviors, new habits, new environments, new goals, new dreams. Maybe by looking in that direction, we understand what is truly holding us back. And I think it's more of a mundane kind of energy within our routines. It's not something that really stands out like a sore thumb. And so we do have to concentrate, and we do have to look. And we have to be honest with ourselves, be truthful with ourselves, and expect our own integrity to guide us forward. Let's see what our animals have to say. So it's very, well, it's a lot of free will kind of day for us. So we can look, we don't have to look, but I would advise you to look, absolutely, with these cards. Strength leads the way, so it's the way we present ourselves. We do have Venus going into Cancer today. I would almost think that there's a depth. The way we are sitting there, there's a depth to our thinking, to our thoughts. It could be with emotion. It could be with a want, a desire. There's that cough again. Freedom. Freedom with the horse. I looked up the word spirit the other day. I think I Googled it in images or something to see what would show up. And the first 30 pictures or so was of a horse named Freedom, or named Spirit. Now we have the horse here today. So the horse has been calling me already. Freedom, transformation, free spirit, move, and courage. The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom is a courage. Your inner courage, your strength. Horse has a powerful message to share with you in regards to your time of transformation and newfound freedoms. Sometimes it's easier just to sit in your fuzzy PJs and hope that life will change, and yet you continue to allow yourself to be shackled away from your true spirit and soul. Horse tells you it's time to dream big. It may be time to make changes within your current relationships, whether romantic or platonic. It could be that you feel stifled by your current career choices. Freedom doesn't mean that you have to give up your entire life. Instead, allow yourself to disconnect from the anchors tied around you, and it takes courage. But the end result will be a positive one. Spend some time in nature, taking in the feeling of the wind in your hair, breathe in nature's goodness, and just be. Just a few moments of solitude each day can allow your soul to reboot and clear itself from life's toxicities, freeing it in order to see the proper path. Horse could also mean it's time for you to move house and move to the country. So maybe you have a chance to go into the country today. Maybe it's just a walk through the park. Maybe you're going to get stuck all day, and so that you go on YouTube or something and just Google a pathway or a walkway or a stream and just watch it for a couple of minutes. I know somewhere on my videos on YouTube, I've got just things like a waterfall, a small waterfall, or just a couple of minutes of just watching ducks and geese swim in a small creek. So, but allow yourself that deep breath. Allow yourself to understand where you feel, as the card said, stifled, held back. You can't go forward. Maybe it's a behavior. Maybe it's something we needed once a long time ago, but we don't need it anymore. But we're so used to it in our lives, we don't recognize it for what it is. Maybe, just maybe, we even love it to the point where we don't want to separate from it. But we know that what once helped us get to now is now hindering us to walk into our tomorrow. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.